You are listening to Unscripted Moments, a podcast about propaganda. On today's episode, we are going to be discussing the two recent Toronto shows, as well as the Unscripted Moments book release event in Toronto.
What a party! It has been it's been a crazy weekend.
It's been a crazy weekend, but before we get into that, we made a grave error in the last episode we recorded, and that we forgot to talk about the Buffalo Bills' insane comeback victory against the Baltimore Ravens in Week 1.
Yeah, and I was watching it on TV, and I was getting madder and madder and madder as the game went on, and I just turned it off and went to bed. So I missed arguably the best Buffalo Bills comeback in recent history, probably since their Super Bowl years in the early '90s. I missed it all, man. I missed it all, and then I had to go back and put my tail between my legs and watch it on YouTube replays the next day.
It was a wild night watching that and just like seeing it happen. And then once it happened and the game was over, it was impossible to go to sleep that night because I was so fired up for hours.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of relieved in a way that I did go to sleep and miss it because I didn't have any problem sleeping really. But what a ridiculous turn of events. So anyway, kudos to them for having no quit whatsoever, and screw all of us for giving up. But it was midnight, and when those East Coast games start at 8:20 p.m. and we all have jobs and children, and then the people in the stadium have to wait for an hour and a half to get out of the parking lot. After those games, man, those night games are cruel,
They're hard.
cruel. And we're going to one this Thursday, so
We're going to one this Thursday, yeah.
We're going to sit in traffic for a long time because we're not leaving early.
And then yesterday we had Week 2, a very low stress game against the New York Jets.
I needed that bad. After this whole weekend of traveling, I needed to just sit around and be on the couch and recover from my long weekend of seeing shows and being stressed out in Toronto's traffic.
How nice was yesterday's football day after the insane weekend? Like,
dude,
first part of the weekend. It was amazing, right?
It was the best, and it was like it was really warm outside. It was probably 25 degrees Celsius outside yesterday, and so it was ideal cycling weather, and I just blew it off and just laid on the couch for the entire day. No regrets at all.
Yeah.
My back was sore. I was tired. We slept until after 10 o'clock yesterday, which
amazing.
For people in their 40s is like unheard of. So we had a nice time and just chilled and just sat around. It was great. No regrets.
Yeah, exactly the same thing here. It was perfect.
And those games were good yesterday, man. Those games were on point in the NFL. The worst game of the day was actually the Sunday night football game.
Oh,
with the
my
Falcons
Lord.
and the Vikings. We turned it off and went to bed. But like
I
JJ
did too.
McCarthy, he's getting beat up, man, battered around.
He was getting sacked like every 5 minutes. He was getting sacked. It was crazy.
I know. So he had a really, really good game against the Bears week 1, and people were like, "Oh, JJ McCarthy has arrived," and I'm like, "Hold your horses there, folks." So you put him up against some different teams that aren't the Chicago Bears, and he looked a lot more human last night. Let's just say that.
The offensive line for the Minnesota Vikings, let me tell you, did not do their job at all. Like
Yeah.
they were getting through to him on every single play.
Yeah, and it reminds me of a couple years ago when everybody was in New York City was blaming Daniel Jones for the problems of the New York Giants. But like I would watch a game and like they're basically like, welcome to my quarterback's rib cage," and they were just like opening the door and just like stepping aside and letting him get totally blitzed. So it was an awesome game, awesome day of football yesterday. We watched that Cowboys game come down to the wire.
My favorite part about that Cowboys game, let's be so Greg and Patrina are in a football pool with that I run, and yesterday Patrina is the only one in the entire pool yesterday that picked the New York Giants, and towards, I would say, even in the fourth quarter, Patrina was like, "Oh, I wonder who picked the New York Giants. They're probably pretty happy right now."
Yeah.
Fast forward 20 minutes, the New York Giants lost.
Yeah, it was it was excruciating. And like it was so funny because you could tell that Russell Wilson was playing for his life because there were articles in the newspaper this last week saying, "What if this is Russell Wilson's last NFL game ever?" So Russ Wilson goes out there and has like 500 yards of offense. And I was just watching him just play for his professional life yesterday. But the problem with the New York Giants is not Russell Wilson, it's the New York Giants. They are the
Yeah.
problem, not a singular person. It's the whole thing, not just that one guy.
But I would like to thank the New York Giants on record for giving me the moment of making Patrina eat her words yesterday. That
Yeah.
was my favorite part of the day.
Oh yeah, she felt like crap. It was not fun because we were really excited for the Giants, but also Brandon Aubrey got me like 25 points in fantasy yesterday, so that was absolutely nuts watching that guy bomb him from like 65 yards away. I was like, this guy is
I fe-
nuts, man.
when he hit the 65, that could have hit from 80. I saw.
Dude, I swear to God, in a couple years, people are going to be going for field goals from like the 10-yard line in the opposing direction, and they're going to be like going for 100-yard field goals. Like I think
It's
in like the year 2035, we're going to be seeing like 80, 90-yard field goals.
it's insane.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a great day yesterday. Loved chilling out. My back has been killing me ever
Yeah.
since that Blink 182 show on Thursday night, though. So not having the greatest physical time, but three shows in a row will do that to you, you know.
So you did Blink, Alkaline Trio, Drug Church on
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night, which
Thursday.
which we discussed in our last episode.
In
And
flagrante
then
delicto, I think we talked about it.
yeah, and then you did night one of Propaganda in Toronto while I did the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Winnipeg Blue Bombers game on the Friday night.
Yep,
We
correct.
briefly discussed it, but how I want to get into the night one is when we talk about night two, I want to get your thoughts comparing night one to night two.
Yeah.
So if we go into so night one finishes, you get back to my place, what, like 12:30?
12:30, 12:45. Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
all I'm already in bed at that point.
Yeah, I was jealous, but I came in and I conked out immediately, and then slept till after 8. So it was I got a solid sack time. And your spare bedroom, man, that Murphy bed, that thing is legit.
Oh, thank you. It was a lot of work to build that thing, but it worked out.
Yes, absolutely. So I slept great.
And
Night
then
one was good. I did long walks in Toronto. Every time I go to Toronto and I finally find parking and I battle to get into the city, I just like to go on long walks because I'm a really big fan of the old school architecture that is now becoming less and less common around the city itself because of the disgusting array of condos and high-rise condominiums that go up. But I love doing long walks around Toronto. It's amazing to be in like a world-class city anywhere in the world. So to be in like basically like the New York City of Canada is always fun for me to go on long walks. So that's what I did before the show.
so we woke up, we had a nice breakfast,
Lovely.
then we recorded
In
the
flagrante
In
delicto.
Flagrante Delicto episode, and then we've hopped in the car and we ventured into Toronto. And let's discuss that drive to Toronto in that we left my place just around 1 p.m. and the book
Hmm.
signing was at 3 p.m.
Yes,
So
correct.
that allowed us 2 hours to drive 60 kilometers.
Right. It should be a 40-minute drive total if there's no traffic. Like if you're going 60 miles an hour or 100 kilometers an hour, you'll be there in like 35 minutes.
So we hop in the car and our arrival time says 2:15, which we're like, "Hey, awesome. We're going to get there 45 minutes early."
Yeah.
We look away, we look back. What's our arrival time now?
3:10 p.m. Like
In Yeah.
in 10 seconds, it changed from we having us a 45-minute buffer to being 15 minutes late. I mean, we lost so much time instantaneously, and then my blood pressure just went through the roof, and I'm like white knuckling it, like grabbing my steering wheel harder than you can possibly imagine, being like, Man, why did I even try to do something cool? Why do I even bother? I should have just known that something was going to go wrong. Why even bother? So
So
that was my internal monologue the entire drive in.
Greg got a very real experience as to what it's like to live in the GTA and have a car and need to get places because that type of traffic is there all the time.
And
It
I
is
live in
terrible.
Buffalo. Yeah, and in Buffalo, like I just get in the car and I drive down the street, and it's like completely fine, clear, wide open. But I guess that's speaking to the desirability for Canadians to live in Toronto and from people around the world who immigrate to Toronto because that city is mind blowing.
It's There's a reason why I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Toronto has had the worst traffic in North America for the last 10 years running. Sorry, LA, you ain't on top no more.
Yeah, it was. a real grind. And then when we actually creeped towards the venue for the book signing, which is Emissions Records, which I should say is a fabulous record store on Dundas in Toronto. We were creeping towards the venue, trying to find parking,
Does
failing.
not exist.
Yeah, and we finally find a spot. Got a ticket. So it was just ridiculous trying to do this little special thing.
But we wound up getting there. We got there more or less on time at that point. We made it work.
Yeah, I think we were there
And
at like 3:05 when all was said and done. So we were 5 minutes late, no time to set up, but we just rolled in and just went with it.
there was a lovely table set up and a book display when we got there. Like it was they did an awesome job. Like it looked sweet.
Yeah, and I told Dave, who runs Emissions Records, I was like, I'm going to tell anybody that I know of that does books in the future if they have a music related book and they want to do a thing in Toronto, that Emissions Records is a really great thing. He was awesome to work with. We already settled up. We sold 17 copies of the book and we sold 4 or 5 copies of the compilation album. Signed a ton of books. It was so fun. I loved it, and it was very exhausting being that social, but the time flew by in the blink of an eye.
It was a really cool day, and we got to talk to so many people that and like put faces to names and
Yeah,
from the Discord community. We got to meet people that traveled from all over
yeah.
that came in for the show. We had a dude from New Zealand
Mm-hmm.
that now lives in Seattle that was there. We had
Yep.
multiple people from LA. It
Yep.
was
Yep. Jeff McLean, Clint, they came in from LA and they came to the book signing. That was awesome. And I also should say that for the first and only time ever, I met Justin Santora, who drew the cover of the book. And Justin and I have collaborated on stuff for the last 5 years here and there. He did the podcast logo. He drew the entire book design and reworked the book design. He did the cover artwork for Chris Hanna's Catastrophic Break with Consensus Reality album, which he and I collaborated on for some ideas. And then he sent it to Chris kind of as like a surprise gift, which was really cool. He did the current Propaganda tour poster that's going on. He's done t-shirt designs for them. I have a couple of his prints in my house. He's got an awesome website where he sells his art. But Justin came to the book signing, hung out the whole time, chatted with everybody, and he signed a ton of books too. So it was really cool because that's probably never going to happen again. So me, the quote unquote author, and then Justin, the artist, were in the same spot signing books for probably the first and only time ever. So those 17 people who got both of us is like the only way that's ever going to happen unless they run into both of us separately in the future.
And in addition to that, while we were in Emissions Records, decided to record some impromptu interviews with people that came by.
Yeah, which as of this recording I haven't actually listened to yet. So you've got these 4 interviews that you did in the record store that I haven't listened to yet, but which we are currently introducing on this little recording.
So yeah, so I talked to 4 people, and the conversations I would like to say are very informal.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just kind of on the spot thing, and you're going to learn a lot about the people I talk to, and you're going to learn a lot about their favorite fruit.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've done fruits in the past, so this is an ongoing subplot of this podcast that we have come to know and love about this show in the last couple of years. But you talked to Clint from California, like we said.
Yep.
Dan, who is one of the co-hosts of the Last Believer podcast about Good Riddance, which was awesome to hang out with Dan. Dan and I have met a couple of times at shows in Toronto in the past, but it was nice to just kind of have a quieter environment to chat with Dan for a little bit. Because every time I run into him, it's like at a concert and it's like you're talking over the house music or whatever. And it's just not as fun. But it was great to chat with Dan for a little bit.
And
Your friend Blair.
my conversation with Dan specifically is extremely it's got some deep cuts because I've known Dan for 25 years,
Yeah.
and we go deep into our past in that conversation.
I love it. And then Blair came in, and you had a chat with Blair on the show. Blair's
Blair,
never been on the podcast before.
no, I'm Blair and I actually went to university together, so we had some things to talk about there as well.
Oh, and I gotta say that if anybody likes what Dan and you talk about. If they like Dan, they need to go listen to our Rio San Atlanta, Manitoba episode because Dan co-hosted that episode with Josh Lindley from the Last Believer podcast. They co-host that Last Believer Good Riddance show, and then I asked them to do a little podcast takeover. So they did an episode about Rio San Atlanta. So that's where Dan's been on the show before, and then Justin Santora, who you interviewed as well. You had to interview him twice. You had a little technical difficulty because I just handed you my recorder without telling you how to use it. So that one's on me. But Justin was on the show in episode 6 for Bringer of Greater Things. So this is Justin's second appearance on the podcast as well, but 5 years apart in the show.
And I just want to highlight Justin's interview specifically because he has a very, very controversial fruit choice
Yeah,
in his interview. Very controversial.
this is great. So you want to chat about the shows?
Yeah, we'll chat about the shows and then we'll leave the interviews kind of towards the end part.
Yeah, sounds great to me. But thank you so much to anybody that fought Toronto's notoriously difficult transportation to get to emissions records on Saturday. You made it very, very special for me. It was the absolute perfect amount of people that showed up. I couldn't have asked for anything more. I sold all of the copies of the book that we had on hand. We didn't have a ton. We had 17 and we sold 17. So, right when we were piecing out, a few people rolled in at like 5:05. So shout out to Adam who rolled in at the last second and battled to get there just to get a book. Like, really appreciate you, dude. And then, yeah, and then we rolled out and had some dinner before the
Oh,
show at the second
as we
night.
were as we were rolling out though, I got to accomplish something that I wanted to accomplish a long time for a very long time, and we had a meeting of the Discord Steves.
Oh, it was the triple Steve. It was the
The tr
triple attack.
we had there's three Steves in the Discord,
Yeah,
and we were all in the same place at the same time, and we took a picture together, and it was awesome.
fabulous. Did you post that anywhere? Do you have a copy of the Steve's photo?
I believe Steven posted it in the Discord.
Okay, good, good, good. Well, happy celebration of the Steves. Next, we need a picture of the mats. We need the
Yes.
mats and we need the Steves. So we need to add that to the collection next. So Matt Comtois, Matt Milkowski, you guys are on deck. So
Hey, and then yeah, so we left there. We had a lovely dinner at Hogtown Vegan.
it was lovely. It was great. I had the I had the wings. I had the tortilla salad. It was awesome, and then I had a bunch of fries as well. So great choice for dinner. They were super fast. If you need a fast vegan dinner and you are in the GTA, Hogtown Vegan has got you on lock. This is not a paid advertisement, by the way.
No, they were just super quick and efficient. They're my go-to if I need a quick meal before a concert because they get you in and out so fast and it's
Yeah,
good food.
yeah. Shout out to Hogtown. We tried. We were thinking about going to Planta. Didn't work out. I think the band likes Planta when they're in
The
town.
Yeah, they were
So
eating. They definitely ate there. Oddly enough, Clint also ate there at the same time as the band. So
did he sit with them at their table? Were they
I,
like, "Hey, you come over here"?
unsure if that happened, but I know he did tell me that the band were there while he was eating.
Fabulous. Yeah. So what do we got next? We got the shows.
So yeah, so we got to the show probably 20 minutes before doors opened, and much to my surprise, there was a long line.
Huge ass line. Thank you to Blair for saving us some seats in the
Yeah,
balcony because I could not stand for my third night in a row, and I was seated in night two.
yeah, we had the most perfect balcony seats,
Set dead center. Dead center.
and I could not be more grateful for those seats being saved for us. So thank you. And I hope I'm going to be putting him on the spot by putting it into the universe on the show. But I hope to have an episode with Blair coming up soon because Blair is following the tour in Canada.
Love it. Yeah, do a reconstruction tour thing that like Grazi and Steven did about the Europe
Yeah,
tour, but with Blair. So another thing, Steve, I don't know if you noticed this, but in the Propagandy set, we were like the only little section in the balcony that never stood up. Did you notice
yeah.
that everybody around us was standing up in the rows upstairs, and we were like this haven, this solitude haven sanctuary of seated people, and I was so happy. And when that seat in front of you opened up, I was like, "Oh shit, somebody is going to see that, and they are
And
going to
stand.
slide into our spot, and they're going to stand, and then I'm going to have to stand, and I'm going to be in a worse mood because of it." And this might be sacrilege. People might think that I'm some hardcore show goer, like that I love Propagandy so much that I'm going nuts during the shows. I stand at shows motionless and silent. I don't sing along. I don't move. I am motionless and I am focused. It is something that I can't get
Oh,
physically engaged at
I
shows.
like watching professional people do work, do their
100%.
craft. I
Yes,
like
exactly.
soaking it all in and
Yeah,
absorbing. I like I understand that, that punk music, hardcore, metal and everything, there's a participation factor.
right.
However, I feel like I'm just a student of the game and I want to soak as much in as I can from them.
I love so much that you and I have an identical style in our show going where we are seated, statuesque, motionless, focused, and brains engaged, and that is it. And
Yeah.
it's very funny that we were in the only section of the balcony that never stood, and I made you go down to the first row in front of me. So because I knew that you wouldn't stand up in front of me, and I was like, Steve, Zoe, go down there, get those seats. Because if you go down, if somebody else goes down there, they're going to be standing. So you really came in clutch for Katrina and I because we can just sit on our butts and just soak it all in.
Oh, and it was great. And I was so I did not even take out my phone a single time during the show. It was amazing.
I recorded the full 65-minute audio on my voice memos on night two. So I had my phone out and running, but I didn't turn it on to film anything. So which was great because it really transformed the experience for me where I wasn't fumbling with crap trying to get like a specific section, but I have the audio for the whole entire thing recorded.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll
Yeah.
have to send that over.
Yeah, so I have the world premiere of Benito's earlier work audio recorded, and there are videos of it. I know someone down in the pit named Tom Church, who also came to the book signing and has some stuff in the works with the band. Tom filmed a video of Benito's earlier work from the pit, but it's the world live debut of Benito. So if you want to see that live, Tom has it on YouTube now.
The it's funny when I was sitting with Blair before the show and he's like, "Oh, I really want to hear Benito's." I'm like, "I'm going to guarantee you're hearing Benito's tonight." And it happened.
Yeah, it did. It did. And it's such a cool song and it's different than anything they've ever done. So I was very relieved to see it. And I think when all is said and done, man, I think we saw 10 of the 13 songs. The only songs from At Peace I did not see live this weekend was The Closer, Something Needs to Die, but maybe not you. I didn't see Day by Day, which is a Todd song. And then I can't quite remember what the last one that I didn't see is, but I saw almost everything from At Peace. They're playing almost everything. If you see multiple shows, you'll see pretty much everything
You
besides
want
that.
do you want to go through the set list from night two?
Oh, and they didn't play God of Avarice. So
Mm.
in both nights there was no God of Avarice, there was no Day by Day, and there was no Something Needs to Die, but maybe it's not you. So they did 10 of 13 songs from At Peace combined across these two shows. But yes, let's I got the set list here pulled up.
So,
The
opener.
September 12th, we got Failed Imagineer opening up, which got the place moving into Rented PA, which was fantastic to see live. It's one of my favorite songs on the new record. The Only Good Fascist is a Very Dead Fascist, which was lovely.
Was that in the three spot?
It was number three, yeah.
Wow. Okay. This is gonna be
Yeah.
interesting because I'll go through the night two set list after this. So
Yeah. And then we got Prismatic Spray fourth, and then Nation States. So in the first five songs, we had two Less Talk More Rock songs, which was pretty cool. So then after Less Talk, they went back into a triple song run from At Peace of Stargazing, which was fantastic. Cat Guy and No Longer Young, which is your favorite tune off the record, if I'm not mistaken.
very much so.
And then Without Love in the nine position. And then Note to Self, which is an awesome, super long song right in the middle of the set to kind of just draw you in with the very proggy stuff. And then Fire Season. So Note to Self and Fire Season was kind of like a lull in the pace and the intensity of the set. But then they whipped it back in up with apparently my PC Fascist and back to the Motor League back to back.
So
So
how many songs night one?
17.
17. Okay.
17 total. And then after Motor League, we did Guiding Lights and then At Peace from the new record. And then they closed with Victory Lap into Night Letters. So, yeah, it was a good time. Real good set. I enjoyed it a lot, obviously. That goes without saying.
And then so for night two on
Hmm.
September 13th, we had opening track Victory Lap.
Correct. Yeah, and Failed Imagineer does not appear night two. And they kind of reversed because Victory Lap at Peace and Night Letters were down at the bottom night one, and then they brought those out at the
Yeah.
beginning.
So we had Victory Lap at Peace Night Letters to start the show,
Hmm.
followed by Prismatic Spray,
Yep.
then Rented PA, and
Yep.
then we're going into The Only Good Fascist
Hmm.
and Nation States. So
Yeah,
we
so they brought those Less Talk songs together in one spot.
yeah, and then Stargazing, which was a highlight for me. I really really liked Stargazing live.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is a vibe. It's a vibe, it's a mood, whatever people say about that kind of stuff, but it really just sucks you in.
I love it.
And the crowd was kind of doing a little grooving and moving down on the floor a little bit during stargazing. So I really dug how dancey it is.
It was nice. And then in the 9 spot for the first time since 2017, we had Bangers Embrace.
And it was chef's kiss phenomenal. Todd was so funny. He's like, yeah, whenever I see when I love this band and I wrote this song about sacrifice, and Chris is like, hey, wait a minute, because obviously Todd didn't write Bangers Embrace. So Todd took verbal credit for the authorship of this song, and Chris was giggling a little bit. So it was nice to see those guys joking around on stage.
And then in 10 spot we had Cat Guy,
Hmm.
followed by No Longer Young, which was the highlight of the show for me because what a banger that song is.
Excellent, very good.
And then we had Chris gave the audience an option of the next song, a song that they knew how to play and a song that they didn't know how to play.
Hmm.
And the audience chose the song that they didn't know how to play, which happened to be Dear Coach's Corner.
And let me just say that this was the highlight of the set for me just because of how ridiculously loud the crowd was.
That sing along
And
was insane.
it was the loudest Propaganda sing along I've ever seen, and I've seen Propaganda in Winnipeg 3 times. It's probably about the same as when they played Speculative Fiction in October of 2021 at the Park Theater, but everybody was wearing COVID masks in October of 2021, so it was kind of muted. But that Dear Coach's Corner performance the other night in Toronto was absolutely awesome. I mean, we're steps from the NHL Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
We're steps from Scotiabank Arena where the Maple Leafs play.
Were steps from the location in which Coach's Corner used to be filmed.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's a really geographically appropriate song, and it was bananas loud in there. I mean, I had chills the whole time, chills,
It was unbelievable. And they followed that up with the world premiere of Benito's earlier work.
which I loved because it's such a build, and I'm really glad that they subbed Note to Self out from night one because I got to see a new song the second night. So super glad that they did the Dear Coach's Corner into Benito. It was really good.
Which then went into Vampires Are Real,
Which we didn't see night one, so I was delighted to see that.
and then into Guiding Lights.
It was so good, so good.
And then the 16 spot was Apparently I'm a PC Fascist.
So that was
Which,
nice.
and then the closer was Back to the Motor League, which is a great closer.
It really is a great closer. So awesome sets. I loved that night two was different. We didn't see Fire Season, or Failed Imagineer, or Without Love, or Note to Self night two, but they replaced those with Bangers Embrace, Dear Coach's Corner, Benito's earlier work, and Vampires Are Real. So really good substitutions just to mix it up just enough to where it was original enough for me night two to where it wasn't boring in any way, shape, or form.
And looking at the set list between the 2 days, I'm very happy that I went night two.
Oh yeah, I liked night two more by quite a lot actually. For the Propagandy set, the crowd was awesome. We were seated. We had an amazing vantage point. I was on the floor night one, and it was fine. Obviously, I liked the openers night one a little bit more than the openers on night two. Like I really enjoyed Brutal Youth, and I really enjoyed the OBGMs. And Wax Mannequin and Cross Dog were both fine. Wax Mannequin was super interesting and confusing. I was baffled as heck almost the entire set. And then Cross Dog was really cool.
Oh,
They were heavy. But
hold
yeah,
on, hold on,
yeah.
hold on. Oh, it's This Brian Adams is for you.
Oh yeah, it's Brian Adams. That was so funny, and that guy has tons of records too. If you go
Yeah.
on, but he's playing apparently in Kingston with the band again tonight. So, Wax Mannequin has got the hookup for opening slots on propaganda shows.
I actually really enjoyed the second band. Cross
Yeah,
Dog, they were called.
yeah, Cross Dog. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
thing
thought they were good.
Yeah, the thing for me that I struggle with a band like Cross Dog is that they don't have a guitar, so the bass is the only stringed instrument, and it leads to a rattly sound in the room because the bass has to be so high in the mix in order for it to be distinguished that it almost just rumbles a little too much for me. But they had a lot of really great stuff going on, and I would really like to hear their records now to compare what I experienced live. So definitely no shade on Cross Dog at all. I just haven't heard their stuff, but I'll be checking out the records soon.
Yes, I'd say overall it was a extremely enjoyable yet exhausting day.
Yeah, yeah. And then the drive home back to
Oh my God.
Hamilton, exhausting.
There was a moment on that drive home where I was
We
like,
almost wrecked.
we were getting into an accident straight up.
Yeah. I mean, I almost rear-ended somebody insanely hard. I've never slammed my brakes on harder than that moment when the traffic went from going 90 kilometers an hour to zero within, I don't know, 50 feet. It was unbelievable. I cannot believe I didn't hit that guy.
I can't believe we didn't get hit from behind either. Like it was
Exactly.
just there was accidents everywhere on the Gardner after the show.
hmm It was terrible. And there was apparently a really bad motorcycle accident. Katrina said to me, "Don't look, it's a motorcycle." And I was like, "Oh God." Like, I wonder what she saw. And I haven't actually asked her since then. But there was apparently a motorcycle just splayed out on the opposite direction traffic. And what sucks so much about that city, man, is that like emergency vehicles can't even get to you. If you're like in a
Oh
car
yeah.
accident, you're waiting forever for emergency services. It is scary to have
Like
almost gotten in an accident that it was that close for us, and to know that no emergency services would have gotten to us for who knows how long has definitely given me pause about spending a lot of time up there in the future.
it was a very busy night in Toronto. We had obviously the propaganda concert was a was a small drop in the hat of what was going on. You had like a Jays game, you
Yep.
had the Lady Gaga concert,
Lady Gaga.
and it was the Toronto International Film Festival is on right now, which brings in thousands of people. Special shout out to my brother, who is the executive producer of the new Lilith Fair documentary, which premiered
Very
the
cool.
same night. So
Very cool. Um,
congratulations to my brother.
I love going to these like multiple night propaganda events. The amount of people that I get to run into is so fun. I also met Damien from Fucked Up, and he turned out a punk podcast. He was on this podcast years ago, and he was right on the barricade at the end of the show talking to Todd. And I got to talk to Todd a lot, and I got to talk to Chris and Sue Lynn. Didn't get to see George. George was being swamped at the end of the show on night one, but thank you to the band for their communication and helping me for certain things behind the scenes on this show, on these weekend shows. I really appreciate it.
Night two, we did not even attempt to talk to the band after the show. We
No.
left immediately.
Well, I had to drive back to
Yeah.
Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like we had to get back to Hamilton so we could get Patrina's car, and then Patrina and I were like, we get to your house at 12:45, and then she and I had another hour to go. So we were moving and grooving after that show. So if the band is like, "Hey, I wonder why Greg didn't show up after the show," that's why. But I'm
Well, yeah,
sure
not
they
not
also weren't wondering that. Where's
yeah,
Greg? Where is he? Like they
not that
weren't wondering that. They don't give a
not that
shit.
they're even listening to this.
No, no, no. So, anyway, we pieced out and then we sat in traffic for ages. So it's a good thing we left when we did. But it was cool to see my friends Tom, Kim, and Bob show up as well. They sat with us up in the balcony. They also live in Buffalo and they fought the traffic all the way out of the city as well. So great times. So happy about the book thingy. I've got a couple more book events coming up, and then I'm probably retiring book events forever because they are a lot of work. And thank goodness we weren't just sitting on our hands inside Emissions Records waiting for someone to arrive.
It was hot.
Hot, hot, like temperature hot. I was,
I sweat through my shirt within 5 minutes of being there.
yeah, we was balmy down in that basement. So, but I mean, it's so unseasonably warm here. I know that people around
Yeah.
the country are like, "Hey, it's still summer." But man, being in the 80s Fahrenheit in like late September, mid to late September in Buffalo and Toronto, man, that's excessive. So we're having a very, very disgusting heat wave up here right now. That's too late in the season for my liking.
Yeah, but overall, good weekend. And this week, yeah, so we're Monday now. Thursday, we're going to the Bills Miami game, which
Woo!
we may or may not do a little mini episode. We'll see how we're feeling Thursday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we're at. So I guess we can get to the clips from the book event.
Yeah, and you introduce everybody, but just a reminder, we got Justin Santora, Blair Fay, Dan Forcey, and
Forcier, all
Forcier.
Forcier, also known as D Force.
Yes, and then Clint, didn't catch Clint's last name, but awesome to get Clint in from California on the show. So thank you everybody for saying hey if you were at the shows or if you're just listening to it. Appreciate y'all.
We
And
loved meeting everyone and hanging out, and it was awesome.
yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything more. For such a niche project like this podcast, to have something go off like that where we actually had people come and they actually wanted the book, I was like mind blown. So I'm definitely feeling very proud of myself. I'm trying to embrace this accomplishment and like be like, Greg, you know what? This is pretty cool, and I'm just trying to appreciate the moment because I'm kind of bad at that in my life in general.
You should be proud. It's something to be super proud about. It's awesome.
Yeah, so now we're sweating bullets hoping that the books that got sent to the Winnipeg event actually freaking arrive because they've been in transit now for weeks and still no sign of them at all. So if you're listening, gods of the shipping industry, please send my books to Winnipeg so I can have a good time in Winnipeg as well. Yikes.
If the books don't arrive, Greg will be signing bare chests.
Yes. Both. Somebody podcast daddied me as well. So.
Oh, you did? You got who
Yeah.
podcast daddied you?
I can't remember, man. Like it all kind of blurs together, but I definitely got podcast daddied. And I laughed and I handed out a bunch of stickers. It may have been Tom Church, but I can't remember at the moment. But it was very funny, and I laughed, and I did distribute swag.
I love that happened.
Daddy. Yeah. So anyway, let's get into these interviews. Thank you so much, and go Bills.
Go Bills.
And see you next time.
I'm here with Justin, who drew the cover art for the book. And this is my second conversation with Justin today because, in full disclosure, our first conversation did not record.
No, the fruit talk?
It was such a good conversation, too.
I'll try my best again.
So I think the first thing I asked you the last time we talked was, what are you looking forward to in the show tonight?
Set list wise, I really want to hear off the new record, No Longer Young. It is a song that has moved me to tears a couple times, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, you know, when I walked down into this record store today, the I Spy was playing, and it made me think about how when I was way, way younger and listening to I Spy and wanting to be like these guys and wanting to be like Propaganda and wanting to follow the values and follow their example, and the fact that they're just kind, approachable, cool people with an idea about being humane and kind and calling out injustice and understanding that the world is not how it could be or should be. And to hear the resignation and almost like defeat on a lot of the songs on the new record, it resonates extremely powerfully because so much of us feel that level of despair with the state of the world, the state of the U.S. And to hear a lyric like, "Don't follow me," when that was what I started doing. I want to follow these beliefs and this seems like the way. And to hear like, I don't have the answers. We're going to die with the world still at war. And a lot of those lyrics hit really hard. And there's something tonally about the song that also dovetails nicely with the message. And that's always a really impactful musical dynamic.
I just want to, for everyone listening, the first time I asked that question, I Spy was actually playing in the background. So
yeah, it was
the moment wasn't
moment. Yeah,
the moment just was not there the second
time. I tried
time.
to call back to it because it was very much a thing.
It was the first time was perfect. How did you go about making the cover for the book?
Greg and Keith contacted me about doing it because I had done some poster art and some shirt art for the band at that point, and I came up with a couple ideas, but the one that seemed obvious to me was a more comprehensive flipping through records concept, because I could actually do little corners of albums. I try to place them loosely chronologically, if not chronologically. I'm like looking at it. Yeah, actually, yeah, you can see it goes out of Clean, Let's Talk, Empires, Potemkin. Potemkin turns 20 next month. Holy shit.
It's insane.
and like, I just think that was a way to address the breadth of their discography at the time. It has since grown a little bit. And also talk about the nerdery of it, the crate digging, the poring over the details, the obsessive collector, fan, nerd vibe of it all.
And like, we're in a record store right now. I have not browsed a single record while we're here. Do you understand how hard that is?
I've meant to, but I've been writing in books and things like that. Yeah,
just writing in books and talking to people.
Yeah, which is also wonderful.
You're from Chicago, correct?
Love it, yeah.
What's your favorite milkshake from Chicago Diner?
Oh, you got my number. I gotta go peanut butter cookie dough.
Peanut butter cookie dough is number one for everyone.
If I'm not with my girlfriend who's allergic to peanuts. Otherwise, it's just cookie dough.
What's your favorite thing to eat at Chicago Diner?
The buffalo wings and the Radical Reuben.
Radical Reuben. The Radical Reuben's unbelievable. There was one year I was there where they had this unbelievable hero sandwich.
They still got it.
Oh yeah.
It's a staple menu item. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And they had a really good pierogi meal the last time I was there.
Oh, I didn't get that. That might have been a special. It'll probably come back.
Yeah, Chicago Diner is one of my favorite places in the U.S. to eat. I love it so much.
Yeah. That place made me love the pickle spear at the end of a sandwich.
Do you ever go to Kuma's?
I've been once.
They had a couple vegan options there.
Converge Burger was pretty good, yeah.
Kuma's was really good. And there's a good taco place. I can't remember what it's called. Penelope's Vegan Taquerita, maybe?
Oh, yeah, I've been to Penelope's. We go somewhat regularly. I had like a brunch kind of thing there. It was like a vegan huevos situation that I liked quite a bit. Last time I went, just a couple weeks ago, I had a burrito. Finally got a burrito from Penelope's. Don't sleep on the burrito at Penelope's.
I've yet to make it to Penelope's. They weren't around last time I was in Chicago.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. The one in Andersonville is the one we go to. Yeah, I've never had a bad thing on the menu.
Oh, I can't even wait to go back and eat that.
Yeah.
What are you looking to do in Toronto while you're here besides Propaganda?
It's a real quick weekend trip. So last night we went to Hawker, plant-based kind of fine dining. It's amazing. And we also checked out Civil Liberties, a bar in Toronto, which is great because as an American, I'm hard up for civil liberties. And that's a fascism joke, everybody. And it's a really cool bar where you can talk to the mixologist and say what kind of spirit you're into. And they probably do NA stuff if you don't want to indulge in the alcohol. We said what spirit we liked, what kind of flavor we're going for. Anything they shouldn't put in. I said no egg whites, because sometimes they do that in cocktails. And I did some kind of whiskey thing that was totally rad. My girlfriend got a tequila strawberry situation that was better than mine, but they were both amazing. That place was cool. Yeah, we made it kind of an early night, and today we were trying food. Got some really good vegan brunch.
Are you driving back? You drive or fly?
We're driving tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to
tomorrow.
Brunch and drive straight back.
So, if you happen to drive through Hamilton, in Hamilton we have an all-vegan pub with vegan pub food.
Oh man, maybe we'll stop along the way. That could be cool. I've been to Hamilton.
It's called Jordan's Homeside.
Jordan's Homeside?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to write this down when we're done talking because we're going to go right through it. We're taking the 401. I've been to Hamilton, but it was 15 years ago. I liked it.
I currently live in Hamilton.
Right on. I played there with an old band, like my friend's band I was playing drums with.
Did you play at the Casbah?
No, I don't remember what it was called at all, but I don't think it... Actually, no, it might have been. It might have been. I remember about that show, there were hula hoops by the bar. And my friend Frank was singing, and he told everybody to hula hoop for this 1-minute song we played. And we got 12 or 15 people to hula hoop for the duration of the song.
That's amazing. And then I want to end with the same question I asked you last time. Top 5 favorite fruit.
We got to go banana. It's portable. It's ubiquitous. It gives you a good little sugar boost. It's got potassium, and they're good. You can put them in shakes. I'm going to also say pineapple. It's candy-like. It's delicious. We made pineapple skewers with tofu that we marinated and red peppers on the grill.
Beautiful.
Served it over arugula. I gotta say, the mango. Love mangoes. Yellow mangoes. The regular orange kind of mango with the red and green outside. Also dope. I love kiwi. And my weird answer from the first talk, maraschino cherry.
That's so insane that maraschino cherries is on your list of favorite fruit, but I love it.
Specific answer, it's basically candy, but I argue so is pineapple.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for chatting.
Right on, great talking.
Enjoy the show tonight, buddy.
For sure, you too.
Thanks. So I'm standing here with Blair Fay he's currently living just outside of Ottawa. Blair and I went to school together, I want to say 25 years ago.
Yeah, 1998 to 2002, I guess.
And so this is the first time Blair and I have seen each other in 25 years, and I'm putting him on the spot on the show. So what do you hope? So you went to the show last night, correct?
I did.
What are you hoping for tonight that's different than last night?
Benito's.
Is that the only song you're hoping for tonight?
Well, they didn't play it last night, and I saw it was one of the songs they practiced, so I'm hoping it's on the set list tonight.
If you had to say what your 3 dream songs for them to play tonight, what are they?
Benito's, Bringer of Greater Things, and State Lottery.
I said State Lottery this morning when Greg and I had this conversation. He told me I was crazy for thinking they're going to play that.
They're not going to play that.
They're never going to play that.
They're never going to play that. No.
Yeah, I want State Lottery, Refusing to Be a Man, and Purina Hall of Fame are my 3 that I want them to play.
Purina would be a good, especially the dual. I've seen them play it before with Sulin and Chris, and watching them do the dual guitar solo at the end, it's pretty special.
For the new record, what's your favorite jam off the new record?
Vampires Are Real.
Vampires Are Real?
Really love the guitars on that one. It's really good.
And what else have you done with your time in Toronto since you've been here?
Came here for a book signing and bought a CD.
So Greg asked me to ask everyone that has been through his signing process, just how disappointed were you after you met Greg?
He was taller than I expected, so I wasn't disappointed at all.
He's freakishly tall, right?
Pretty tall. Yeah, he's a tall guy.
He's tall and he's loud.
I find Americans are louder than Canadians just in general, so it doesn't surprise me.
He's got insane projection with his voice.
Well, there's more people down there, so they have to project their voices louder. That's my theory.
And it is insanely hot in this basement record shop right now.
There's sweat dripping off my nose.
It is crazy how hot it is. Like, I've just been sweating through my shirt all day.
Me too.
One question I like to ask everyone, I'm sure you've heard it since you've been standing around, is I need your top 5 favorite fruit.
Cherries, number 1. Big banana guy. Are avocado a fruit?
No, we said no.
No, it's a vegetable? Okay. Oranges, lychees, and we'll just go straight up apples.
What kind of apple?
The Granny Smith.
Granny Smith. Wow. You're the first person to ever mention lychee. The first person I've ever asked this question to. You're the first person.
Okay. Well, it's not. You don't see them at the Canadian grocery stores very often.
When was the last time you purchased a lychee?
Probably about a decade ago.
Where were you?
In Fredericton, New Brunswick.
They have lychee in Fredericton, New Brunswick.
One of my students was Korean, and she brought me some lychees. Yeah, she sourced them somewhere.
That's unbelievable. My partner Zoe over here, her favorite flavor of kombucha is actually lychee kombucha.
It's a nice neutral but sweet flavor.
I can't say that I'm a huge fan of lychee, but I do respect people who do like lychee.
It's good to know.
What are your plans after this book signing in between now and the show?
Have to wander around until the doors open, and then I will take a spot, hopefully up front, and try to not get my head rattled around too much because I have an inner ear issue.
Don't we all now, right?
getting old.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the night, and thanks for being on the show.
Thanks. Good to see you, Steve.
Nice to see you too, bud. I'm here with D-Force, Dan Forcier from the Last Believer podcast, and better known as a former member of the 10 Frame Fight bowling team that we used to be on together.
That's true, yeah.
Can you tell me more about your recent bowling adventures?
I haven't bowled nearly as much as I would like to. We should go bowling while you're in town. It's been a while. I would like to. I was once most improved, which is embarrassing and great.
So Dan and I were on a bowling team. What year? This must have been around 2005.
I moved to Toronto in 2007.
Okay, so it must have been 2009.
9, yeah, because that's when I met Ryan too.
Yeah. So we were on a bowling team in the electrical. The
International
Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Union Bowling League. Somehow we wound up on a team in their league.
They got the name changed to I Bowl every Wednesday instead of IBEW for the electrical union. Yeah.
What do you think Mike Hook is up to these days, who worked at McDonald's?
That is a great question, because I lent him all of my Chappelle Show DVDs back then, and I have not seen them since. So whatever, probably for the best in the long run, but I don't know. Mike, if you're listening to this and you still have those, hit us up.
Imagine if Mike is listening to this. There's no
way. I do wonder. Actually, when I was working at the axe throwing place, he came in one time, and I was working there, and I was just blown away. And I ended up working like their event, and I forgot to ask about my DVDs.
That's insane that you saw him again. I just assumed he stopped existing after we stopped bowling with him.
As far as I know, he did, though, really.
So after you left, we replaced you on our bowling team with like an 85-year-old dude named Basil.
Oh, yeah, I heard about Basil.
And we won the league that year.
Yeah, that's because I was not there. I was not good. I was taking rowbacks before everyone. I had a bad back. Yeah. Fucking Basil, though.
It's crazy. So you're going to the show tonight, right?
I am going to the show tonight, yes.
What are you hoping to hear tonight?
I don't have any expectations. I just want to go and have a great time. Like, I don't care what they play. It's just going to be great. I know it's like a cop-out answer, but it's true.
Hey. Do you have a favorite song off the new record?
No. I don't.
Wow.
I actually don't. I have not listened to it enough to pull out one favorite.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I was talking to Josh. Let me go. Josh about it on the way here, and yeah, I haven't spent a lot of time with it yet. Embarrassingly enough, on the Propaganda podcast.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone that listens to the show knows that I have many bands that I listen to ahead of Propaganda.
It's been a busy time since it came out. Also, I got really obsessed with that Clips record, and
don't even know what that is.
Oh, there you go. I listened to that a lot more than I did the new Propaganda, but I will take it in. And I heard even the new songs sound even better live than on the records. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And then one question I like to ask everyone.
Yeah.
Top 5 favorite fruit. Go.
Favorite fruit?
Yeah.
Fuck, on the spot, eh? I love a banana. Banana's good. Apple. Classic.
What kind of apple, though? You got to be specific.
Fuji apple.
Fuji.
I think so.
Okay.
First answer, best answer. Or first thought, best thought? I don't know. How many is that? 2?
3 more.
Okay. Blackberry. Will that count?
Yeah.
Okay. Orange. Orange counts. And a lime. A lime, because I love a lime and a Diet Coke.
A lime.
Yeah.
Man, you have very unique fruit taste.
Really? I thought those were so basic.
No one has ever said lime.
Sick.
And honestly enough, no one has ever said orange either.
I'm a citrus boy, I do love citrus.
Grapefruit?
I do love a grapefruit, yeah. I'm not putting them in my top 5, though, but I do love a grapefruit.
Grapefruits are great.
They're grape? Yeah.
They're great fruits.
They are grapefruits. Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
One didn't. So I'm here with Clint. Clint came all the way to Toronto for the shows from LA. Can you tell us more about your first trip to Toronto?
It's been great so far. I got to see Propaganda last night. It was amazing. It was worth the trip. It was a long travel day. I'm staying in a little pod hotel, so I'm sleeping in like a shelf kind of thing. But I like Canada. I wish I didn't have to go back to the States.
I didn't know we had those pod hotels here.
There is one, and yeah, I mean it's nice, but it's like literally I'm sleeping in like a shelf that's like a metal thing that kind of when you if you move too much it makes these noises. But it's right downtown. It's like near everything, so I can just walk around.
And like you're a pretty tall guy. Like how big does this pod have to be?
I have about an inch from my feet to the wall. And my head from the wall. So it's like it's tight. It's tight. I had a panic attack the first night, like because it's like so claustrophobic.
That is crazy. I had no idea. Yep. What part of LA are you from?
I'm actually north of LA. It's like a suburb of Los Angeles called Thousand Oaks.
Oh, I've been to Thousand Oaks.
Oh, no way. Okay, cool.
It's not far from Westlake Village, right?
That is correct. Yeah, I mean it's Westlake and Thousand Oaks kind of are the same in a way. Yeah.
I spent, I think it was the 2012 election in Westlake Village in, oddly enough, Liberace's plastic surgeon's guest house.
That doesn't even make sense. I don't know what you're talking. What is that all about?
Yeah, I just happened to knew someone that was living in Liberace's plastic surgeon's guest house at the time.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's
wild.
That's great. Yeah.
So what are your other plans in Toronto other than Propaganda?
That's about it. I'm going to the show tonight. I'm gonna pick up Greg's book here. I'm gonna read the book before the show starts, and then tomorrow morning I'm back to the LA area.
Oh, that's wild. Have you eaten anything interesting here yet?
Yes, all vegan. It's been pretty good. I'm trying to remember all the names of the different places. Odd Burger was pretty good. I had a breakfast sandwich at like something, I forget what it's called.
Was it Coopford and Kim?
I ate there once, and that was good. I had like a some kind of granola bowl, and then there's some other place, something in Health or something like that.
There's a place, Planta, which is right near the venue, which is world-class vegan food.
I haven't tried that yet.
And then from here, if I highly recommend, on Queen Street West, there's a bakery called Vegan Danish Bakery, which is...
Oh, snap. I saw that on a map, so I got to hit that up.
Which is amazing. You absolutely should go there.
Okay, done.
The almond croissants.
Awesome. Cool.
And then one question I like to ask everyone that comes on the show is, I need your top 5 favorite fruit.
Top 5 favorite fruit. Blueberries. Blueberries, and was that 4? And bananas.
Bananas.
Yeah. But mostly blueberries.
I eat blueberry smoothie every morning.
Yeah, hallelujah, man. So high antioxidant content.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with blueberries. Cool. Thanks so much for chatting with me.
Awesome, thank you.
Enjoy the show tonight.
All right.